Quería ponerle pausa porque quería mi café, güey, ya para no mover aquí, güey. Chingada madre. Ya lo quité, ya lo estoy transmitiendo de nuevo, güey. Métete el mismo link, te va a matar, te va a matar.
Va de nuevo.
Ya llegaste. ¿Llegaste? ¿Ese eres tú?
Cámara.
Ahora sí, cámara. Ahora sí.
Cámara.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West.
Sí, le mandó
This
otra
was
vez
the
al mismo,
beginning of
¿verdad?
the era
Con
called
el
the
mismo
Cold
link.
War.
Para mandárselo a mi carnal también, ya le dije.
Sí. Creo. Yo le puse ahí en tu cuenta. Y me dio.
Sí, Simón.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Jack, I've
Con
got some
eso ya.
important news. The head of the CIA
Salta eso, ya lo vi, jajajaja.
for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends
Ya
on
mejor vemos eso porque
See,
si
some
no,
of
¿qué
the
tal son una
officials
X más y me
organized
salta
a
hasta donde no?
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
This is
Well-
wonderful mission.
About 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top secret weapon research
Ese Sokolov
facilities.
sale hasta en el Call of
And the
Duty,
East's
maldito.
foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us. Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Sí, es muy de anime japonés ese pedo, güey. No lo había notado hasta ahorita.
Oye,
Oye, dime, bro.
pero no hay fecha de cuándo salga el Delta, ¿verdad?
No, todavía no, güey. Pero ahorita checo. A ver si tienen algún aproximado. O al menos el año. A ver si sale este año o el otro. No, no mames, no va a salir este año, güey.
Do you copy?
Ya acabó.
You're already in enemy territory. Somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a
Si
restaurant.
no, ya este año ya no.
You might not have a choice.
What about you, Major?
Ahorita le busco. Ahí anda el gas.
I'll be...
Simón, por eso también hace ratito estaba muteado, güey.
Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see.
Esa es tu primera misioncita,
Better
¿no?
go
Vas
back
a
and
ver
get
si
it.
por tu mochila,
You
Simón.
know where it is?
No problem.
Ya es donde
I
te
can see
enseñan a
it from
escalar
here.
árboles y
It's
la
stuck
verdad. Ah,
in
está
the
bien
branch.
verguita este juego, güey. No, nada más acordarme, güey. Ay, no,
Climb
mames,
a
a huevo.
tree,
Sí, me
stand
da un
in
poquito
front
de
of the
hueva,
tree
no te
that's
soy
covered in
honesto,
ivy
pero
and press the
quiero
action
meterme a la
button.
historia, güey. Entonces, no mames,
I'll
es
be
Metal
monitoring your
Gear, güey.
progress over the radio. You can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Digo que sí está muy chingo, güey. Estaba hablando como pendejo solo. Sí me da un poquito de hueva, pero me quiero meter chido a la historia y a ver qué pasa. Pero qué mamada, no puedes agachar acá. Puedes avanzar agachado. Círculo, cuadrado, triángulo. ¿Cómo ver que la agarraba? Ok. Cuadrado. Ahí estás.
Ya ahorita te picas jugando y ya no te da hueva.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out
Sí,
of
tal
your
cual. Sí,
backpack.
por eso digo que no, ahorita
In
sí
the
ya nada más es
survival
cosa
viewer, choose weapon from the
de saberle
backpack.
los pinches
Your available weapons will be
controles y
displayed
ese
in a
pedo.
window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you
Pero
want
es lo
to
que también me
equip
acuerdo, güey,
and
que todo
press
es
the
como que
enter
desde
button.
configuración y
For
todo, y
other equipped
pasarlo a
items,
la
just do the same
objetos
thing from
rápidos y
item.
todo eso, güey.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger-happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this, anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue.
Tienes que barrer si haces desmadre.
US government will deny any
Sí.
involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on
Me
covert
acuerdo de la
bombs
así como, pero
be
creo
issued
que
a
esa balaceras de a
potassium
huevo.
cyanide capsule. Tape it to your
Pero
body
no,
so
no,
you can
no,
take it
bueno.
when you need to.
How
Pero me
generous.
acuerdo el único lugar que a mí una balacera es un lugar donde...
Use it if you're taken
Poquito
prisoner
después
by
donde
the
te
enemy.
encuentras a los
Send
celotes.
you into a state of false death
Y es
for a
como en
short
una
time.
estación como de
Fooling
policías
them
ahí
into
como de...
thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
No, me.
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
Sí, no, entonces sí es
Is also
Nomi.
in charge of recording your
A mí no me
mission
hace un
data.
pendejo.
Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top-secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could.
Si es
The
Naomi a
rest you
fuerza.
needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to
Es lo
think
que yo
like a
digo.
soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the
De
mission.
flecha derecha.
Follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier
Es lo que estaba
is.
pensando,
I
pero
do whatever I
estaba
have to
esperando
get
que
the job
pasara porque
done.
también hace ratito
I
empezó en
don't
uno.
think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun.
Ah, son
There's a
fotos de
saying
ella,
in the
¿no?
Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if
The
necessary.
boss.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a
Esa
country.
es su mentora.
So there's no such
Sí,
thing
sí,
as
sí,
an
sí,
enemy
pues es the
in
boss, güey.
absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think.
Se supone que ella
The
inventó el
only thing we
CQC.
can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world.
Yo aquí trabajando viendo el en vivo, cobrando por venir a verte jajajaja.
Right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position.
Ahí es donde encuentras al
Avoid heavy
pinche solo.
combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Pero ahí te encuentran.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
¡Yeah!
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Chun, 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 chun. Vamos, nosotros somos snakes.
Estoy diciendo que sí. Es que lo que pasa es que tengo que llegar a casa antes de ver ese.
Ya, una disculpita. ¿Con cuál apunto, verga? ¿Y con cuál uso el sonar? Chun, chun. Verga, no me acuerdo de ni madres, güey. ¡Ah, una rara! Es que me quiero mover agachado y no se puede, ¿verdad? Verga, güey, no sé cómo disparar esta mierda. Está bien verga, güey, neta que no mames. Ok, el sonar es... Ok, sí, ok, me quedo con el sonar y me voy a quitar mi cuchillito de palo. Y si no mal recuerdo, el lodo me va a hundir. So. Pinche caimán. Tranquilos, tranquilos, no quiero ser despedo. Por aquí ya empezó a ver un güey. Y creo que es esa mierda de allá enfrente, ¿no? Energía, bocín, tacatán, tacatán. Ok. All good. Aquí sí, ya aquí empieza a ver un primer güey. Si no me equivoco, enfrentito hay un puente. Y creo que por ahí vale verga, ¿no? Y te quitan tu arma.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Ok. También estoy bien verga.
Who's that?
¿Cómo verga era?
HQ, please respond.
Chale, ya la cagué. Bueno, tenía que aprender, ¿no? Todavía no sé cómo disparar, verga. ¡Oh, cuadrado! ¿Y cómo apunto? Y disparo soltándolo. ¡Ah, qué culero, güey! Ok. No, recarga. ¿Con cuál recargo?
Para disparar tenías que aprestar más rápido.
No,
Así
pues
es
sí, no
con
sé qué
cuadro.
fue. Sí, güey, mira aquí, pero... Ah, verga, estoy en ojete, güey. ¿Lo viste? Está bien ojete, güey. No, no, güey, no mames. ¿Qué pedo con esta mierda, güey? Yo lo iba a reiniciar, ¿verdad? Pero no, ¿verdad? No estoy. No existe eso. Ah, qué mamada. ¿Ya viste cómo apuntas? Chingan a su madre, pinche gente, güey. Con L3, y esta es una puta cámara toda cagada.
No te tienes que morir. Ve y con círculo. Para golpearlo.
¡Muérete, ojete!
Falta barrio.
Pues es que era pinche barrio, no, nomás no los quiere picar, güey. Anda picando ensalada, güey, no carne. Mira. No mames, se murió como a los 1000 cuchillazos, no te pases de verga, güey. A ver, aguántame.
Vas bien, W y.
3 horas.
Text Green Game Over.
Bueno.
Ya.
Ya, bro, discúlpame.
Ok.
Ya estufas. A ver, camuflaje, uniforme. Este. A ver, está vibrando porque tengo el detector, mejor el suéter. Ok, qué chido.
Who's that? Radio, call HQ.
Ah, hijo de tu puta madre, pero es que... Ok, luego de aquí para dónde? Es que se me va la hebra, bien cabrón, cómo se mueve este pedo. Pero pues sí, ¿verdad? Pues no me deben de ver para nada. Es que yo los quiero matar y no podría nada más esquivarlos, ¿verdad? So, aquí vengo, ¿no?
Vas bien.
Pues para allá arriba.
Súbete. A ese árbol que pasaste.
Ah, chinga, pues ya pasé. Ahí está el puente donde vale verga por
Sí,
primera
sí.
vez. O a lo mejor era otra ruta, ¿no? Una rutita alterna. Tal vez sí.
Está bien. Tú dale.
Sí, tal vez, ajá, te digo, tal vez era una como ruta alterna, ¿no? Creo que si la otra vez pasé por ahí. Y si llegas como que por ahí, no sé. Creo que del otro lado. O tal vez te sale la misma cinemática. Ah, no, aquí me acuerdo que es la primera vez que valió verga porque aquí fue donde por primera vez a mí me descubrieron. Y es que exactamente salen los dos del puente y está este pendejo. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Hacia dónde estás volteando? Chun, 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 chun. No, pues esperar a que pase. Fuck. Oh, güey, se quedó ahí.
Sin miedo.
It's precaution.
Regresa un poco. Voltea para arriba de un árbol.
Oh my god. La ranita. ¿Le
Hay un
disparó?
panal de abejas.
Pero también hay una ranita. A ver, entonces voy a buscar el panal de abejas.
Dispárale a modo que le caiga al soldado.
Sí,
Y se
supongo.
van corriendo.
Ya lo vi. Ok, entonces apunto a... ok, con este. Ay, pinche cámara culera. ¡Ah! Ya vete corriendo, hay abejas. Ah, culero, gente. Pero ¿por qué no lo agarra? Ahora.
Te dije hazte para atrás. Ja, ja,
Sí.
ja, ja.
Sí, cierto. Me quedan así con silencio, no escucharon todo de verdad.
Si te hace falta barrio.
Sí, carnal, no mames, es como que ya no me acuerdo, güey. Voy a morir, voy a morir. Ración. No hay ración. No me equiparon nada de ración. Mochila, comida. No, ya ni me acuerdo qué chingas me va a poder curar, güey, ni qué chingas voy a poder hacer. Y luego opciones. ¿Verdad? Comida, no, pues ya fue, mochila. Cuchillo, experiencia, ajá, micrófono, no sé qué, pues yo creo que ya valió de acá, ¿no? ¿Por qué no lo puedo usar?
Aguanta.
Ya me voy a dar por petateado mejor. No sé, no, jefe, no le voy a
Me
contestar.
hablaron para configurar un modem.
Arre, güey. Me voy a morir.
Pero te sigo viendo.
Respond. Snake. Snake.
Snakie.
Plomazo. So. Desde aquí, ¿no?
Nothing here.
No, pues creo que el panal no le cayó al soldado. Oh, no, eso no fue el panal. O ahí hay otro panal. No, ¿por qué te soltaste, güey? Verga, güey, antes te subías con... Verga. Bueno, o sea, no, pero me acuerdo que... Ah, qué pendejada. Ah, ok, ok, ok.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. Security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
So, güey.
Huh? Who's that? What's going on? What's wrong? HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Ya casi, ya casi. Tun, 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 tun. Ah. Tum, 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 tum.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. Unable to
Pro
locate.
here. No, los platos.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for...
Va de nuevo. Aguanta. Voy a bajar que me hablaron para configurar un modem. Pero te sigo viendo. Snakie.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Yes, bro. Timon.
The soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss... then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Esa parte es la chida.
Pero ya no encuentro el Zócalo, o no sé si ya se fue, o no me acuerdo qué pedo.
Ya no vi la cinemática.
No,
Ya.
güey, ya no. Pero regrésale. Ahí está grabada.
DVD.
Modo que me caiga el soldado.
Estar adentro. El Sokolov.
Adentro, igual de donde lo había sacado.
Sí.
Pues no.
Acércate a la cama.
A huevo.
Creo la tienes que mover algo así.
Ah, sí, ¿no? Aquí está la puerta abajo de esta mierda. Pero... Híjole. Pues...
No.
Pues no.
Ya me acordé.
Escucho, escucho.
Se fue para el puente el Sokolov.
No mames, ¿se regresó tanto? Es que algo así me...
Ir por él.
Simón, algo así me acordaba, pero verga, se regresó tanto. Pinche viejo loco. Sí. Viejo marihuana.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're
Ya hasta me dieron un trofeo porque maté a Ocelot, maté a todos sus camaradas y maté a Ocelot y me dieron un trofeo. Y fallé la misión, obviamente, ¿verdad? Ahí está, ahí salió un pinche misilazo a la verga. No, pues estaba bien pinche loco, mira cómo construyó esa madre.
Yes.
A perro.
A perro.
The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America. Quickly.
Quickly.
They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Ay, cómo me río cuando me estoy riendo. Vieja loca.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Pinche traidora. Por eso no pueden haber contacto contigo. El pain. Las abejas. Bueno, mis polvos, el pain. Ese es otro pinche vato loco.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Perro. Vieja marihuana.
Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, This one is still just a child, too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Hija de perra. Sí, es cierto. A partir de ahí, ahora sí te puedes empezar con
You've seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him.
Qué aburrida.
Jack, you can't come with us.
Y de repente, ¡pum! Te vas para atrás, culo. Ya entendió.
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
¿No?
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Como hombre.
Major.
A huevo, a huevo.
The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment.
Verga.
Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it.
No, si ya me hubiera muerto con todo eso quebrado.
No, en Chile sí,
Sutures
hijo
to
de
stitch
su
it
puta
up,
madre.
styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Chinga tu madre. No, mi... ¿Esto qué tiene? Sufres cortes muy profundos, sangrados, no se ha colocado una venda. Primero este hueso roto se ha colocado una venda. Es que no. ¿De dónde empezamos? De los brazos, ¿no? No, pues. Ay, ay. Ay.
Ya revivió.
Revivió el carnal.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
A huevo, pues es aquel. ¿Qué estás viendo, carnal? ¿Qué vemos? ¿Qué hay que ver? Ah. Ah. Tantísimo, ¿ese equipo es para mí? ¿O es... No, ¿verdad? Se están transportando a la chingada.
Shagohod.
Pinche loquito, güey.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch.
Se ve chida la imagen en el video.
Not so fast, my dear.
Sí, pues sí, se ve bien.
No sé cómo la veas tú en tu pantalla.
Supongo que igual que tú en tu video, güey.
A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
Pinche loquito. Sí, claro, por supuesto. Pues de modo que una sobreguardadora. ¡A huevo! Ahora sí ya estamos todos listos. Sí, pues eso es chido, bro.
Yo la neta voy a jugar primero el 2.
¿Y eso?
Tree frog, it's so
De mi cuenta, güey, puedes descargar también el Metal Gear Definitive Edition, güey. Que viene con el Ground Zeroes, güey, y con el The Phantom Pain.
A mí me late la escena del barco.
Y pues prácticamente tendríamos todos, güey. Bueno, no sé si has jugado el 4, yo sí jugué el 4, yo fue con el que empecé, güey. El Guns of the Patriots. Y no mames. Pues prácticamente con eso ya serían todos, güey.
Bueno, están presentando el Metal Gear Rail.
Perdón, güey. ¿Estoy interrumpiendo? ¿O cómo?
Hay en esa versión que tienes bien el 4.
No, por eso digo, sería lo único que faltaría, güey. Por eso digo, no sé si tú has jugado ese, güey. Ese fue el único con el que, bueno, fue con el que empecé, güey, fue con el que yo conocí. Un CR-71 Blackbird, modificado.
Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. All systems go for drone detachment.
Sí, no, viene el otro, vienen los dos, el Ground Zeroes y el...
No lo he jugado.
Sí, verga.
Pero si quisiese.
Está chido. Ese es Tactical Expedition Action. Este sí tiene más acción, puedes más acá maniobrar con las armas, acá tiene más combate. Bueno, puedes entrar más en combate más, o más chidito, tiene el combate más fácil. ¿Sí? ¿Tú también los tienes? Bueno, es que yo armé la Definitive Edition. Y pues ahí vienen los dos también. Pero pues no mames, que chingón también los tengas. Al chile estaba pensando en instalarlo, ahorita lo voy a instalar, yo creo que sí. Tengo el juego del Day One Edition. De ese juego, güey, en físico, pero es de Play 4.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This Fox is still one step ahead of the Hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
Sí los tengo por separado, pero sí tengo los dos.
Still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind
Sí,
of
sí, me imaginé. A huevo.
Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
En que cambia a la versión definitiva, según yo es lo mismo o no.
Yesterday,
Pues,
the White
son los
House
dos.
received an unexpected call.
Y creo que también, si acaso, como un traje o algo así para online o para algo así de normal.
It was a
No
hotline
sé.
call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
Pero pues es lo mismo, güey, o sea, solo te vienen las dos versiones juntas.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident.
Me acuerdo que yo ya había sacado el camuflaje óptico, pero en ese entonces no tenía plus y se borró todo mi avance.
I must have your full
Sí, la verdad.
cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that.
Era con los gusanitos, ¿no? Es con los gusanos.
Grew colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin.
Yo lo llegué a conseguir, güey, pero en el 4 igual, güey. Con la maquinita esa, güey. También había una bandana, güey, que te daba como balas infinitas todo el tiempo.
During World War II, she was the one
Estaba
who
bien
led
verga.
us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range.
En esta versión no viene el Peace Walker, ¿verdad, güey?
Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility.
Si la bandana es un parote también. Balas infinitas.
Simón.
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair.
Sí, no mames.
Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
We KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the two NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Salió piloto el güey.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Sí, pues no mames, más historias no nos alcanzaron ni a vergazos, güey. Mira cómo se fue unas vergas, güey. Como no se desmayó. Te acabas de curar y otra vez te vas a romper todo, güey.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss?
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volkin.
I'm not a hired killer.
También lo chingón es la música de todo el juego, la banda sonora.
La banda
Esos
sonora,
temas se
Simón.
oyen bien perros.
What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? Came out last year.
I must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square 0. My frequency? is 140.85.
Esa
I
no la
almost forgot.
cambiaste.
Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How'll I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lule Lo."
Lali Lule Lo.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission.
Esa también sale
Be
en el
careful,
Metal Gear
it's
4.
noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Commence Operation. Ok. Dun, 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 dun. Tuturi, tuturi, tuturi. No es cierto. Pero sí es cierto. Chun, 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 chun. Oye, güey, mi control. De la palanca derecha, güey, se sube. Ya no lo uso más que para aprender y jugar a ese combate. Ay, perdón.
Ya le estás agarrando más el pex, ¿no?
Pues sí, te diré. Ya poco voy a andar en caballo.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss!
That arm still hurt?
No. Me curé bien verga.
What are you doing here?
Oh, está bien verga.
Ya llevas las 2 de en vivo y 1 hora que te fuiste.
Ah, no mames. ¿Qué? ¿Lo corto y empieza otro o no o qué?
Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss!
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America.
¿Qué pedo con esos balas?
Y córtalo para que no estén tan eternos los videos.
That should
Yeah.
stir things up a bit.
Ahorita que termine esta cinemática ya lo empiezo. Lo corto y lo empiezo.
The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Ay, de repente, ¿no? Cuando pasas también por el lago ese donde están todos como fantasmas de estos pendejos, ¿no? Y los encuentras a los 3 o 4 güeyes ahí. En vergas, esa parte también.
I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings?
¡Perra!
You don't know the truth yet.
Todo
But
un
sooner or
anime.
later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me.
Así ahí está chingón también.
You know me too well.
Sí.
Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again,
Perra.
I'll kill you. Now, go.
Ay, hija de... No mames, sí me desvergué la mano.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. If that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.